I made some mistakes, but because of those mistakes, I learned a lot. Maybe those mistakes led to my Mr. Olympia win. Why? Here's why. Hello, old schooler. Samir Bannout here. I want to share some of the funny things, things that happened to me that some kids may learn from it, and I know they will. And I know there's so many passionate people out there that are trying very hard. Sometimes trying very hard is not always the right thing to do. But trying very hard, but don't go overboard. Stay within the boundary. Earlier, I talked about my preparation for the 1980 Mr. Olympia, which is, for me, that was my first Mr. Olympia entry. And it was very exciting because, back in the days, I picked up the first magazine with Arnold on the cover, and really Arnold was one of my heroes. What happened for the 1980, after I won the universe in Columbus, Ohio, 1979, I got invited to be in the Mr. Olympia in Sydney, Australia. And what was good enough, that was exciting. I was training at World Gym where Arnold was training. I saw Arnold making a comeback. I even trained insane. I did everything in my power, but then again, I made some mistakes. But because of those mistakes, I learned a lot. Maybe those mistakes led to my Mr. Olympia win. Why? Here's why. In 1980, I trained extremely hard and I did everything. I was around the clock, tunnel vision. But like I always said it, more is less. And here's I'll tell you where's the mistakes. I know for sure, without a doubt, I'm always a contender, and I know for sure I'm always in the winner circle because I know the body was there. But you could overdo things. And in my case, I started watching my sodium way too early. We didn't have, million people around talking about this and that. But then again, even now people make mistake with this. And I think I was one of the people that discussed this topic openly. And I discussed this topic with some of the gurus. And some of the gurus learned some of the things that I actually learned from some very scientific people. But anyway, to make this story short, in Sydney, Australia, I stepped on the stage happy, excited, and I was really in a good mood. But unfortunately, deep down inside, I knew something wasn't right. And my skin was kind of spongy. And to stand on stage was my hero, Arnold. And then even Arnold at that show, something happened. He had an injury where he had to end up taking cortisone injection, and that led to even Arnold didn't really look at his best. But anyway, I was still very excited to be there. Again, I watched my sodium way too early, which has led to some issue with my fluid and electrolyte management. You cut your sodium too early, the body will do anything to protect you. So, my aldosterone level went up to protect me. No, I'm not a scientist, but I'm going to tell you what happened so you may understand it a little bit better. When the body is too dehydrated, God made us so special that, you have that adrenal cortex releases mineralocorticoid in order to protect you. So let's say you are in the desert hunting, you're thirsty, there's no water around you, so the body have those hormonal things to protect you more like. And so I tried too hard. I cut my sodium way too early, and I got to the point where I would eat trout from the river. I wouldn't even touch celery because celery has sodium in it. So, again, the body, once the body senses it needs sodium, the body starts making its own balance. Aldosterone, boom, boom, try to do this and correct the balance between sodium potassium balance. But then again, aldosterone, it's your savior, but it would make your body look bad. You get spongy. So I did kind of look soft. What's wrong with that? There wasn't like I retain water, and everybody thought, oh, Samir retain water. But you know, it's the opposite, because everybody seemed looking good all year round. I don't retain water. I was eating and stuff, but I ate good. I'm not a guy that lived on junk. I really didn't. Although once a week we used to go to the Chart House. I know Tom Platz would do that, and so we used to go in on the weekend. But we'll have this Callahan cut steak and mud pie and bread. It's good to load up and listen to the body. Again, one thing people need to know: if you want to burn fat, promote lean mass. Gain muscle while you're losing body fat. You cannot force your body. When your body senses it's losing fat, losing lean tissue, fat burning, believe it or not, will stop. And then there would be weight loss, not fat loss. And so the body composition ended up the same. I have one client that actually made a major mistake, and he did it because he was a little stubborn and he felt like his world was ended. I'm like, okay, well, you made a mistake. Don't be negative. Learn from it. Learn from it. Build on it. So honestly, I give this guy a big cutoff, because I know you don't drink from a river and piss in it. You don't. You learn, and you learn from your mistake. You be grateful to those that helping you, and that's all. But you know, it's not always concrete that you will succeed. You know, but doesn't matter. You will succeed, but sometimes you fail. You know, how many times you see Michael Jordan score 5 points in a game? But sometimes he does. That doesn't mean he's not the best basketball player on earth. He is. I like to say, I want to be a perfectionist. I want to be as good as possible. And I'm going to blame that on my father. Let's rest in peace. My father doesn't want me to be even in the top 5 in my class. If I'm not first, I'm in trouble. I'm gonna be in the top 3. So anyway, my father's strategy was a little bit too harsh. Even my handwriting. If my handwriting wasn't perfect, my father said, what the hell, this chicken crap? You know, I'm not like this with my kids, but I give them advice and let them do, and they're doing well. But again, it's good to, you know, analyze and make sure you're doing things right. And then, you know, mistake will happen. And then I want to tell some of you guys out there who's interested of be coached by me, and I'm more than happy to welcome you. And go to Instagram, check my email is on Instagram, Samir Bannout at sbcglobal.net. And yes, I'm not gonna kill you with cost, but I do my best to help you, and you know what? I can help you. I can, and I sincerely mean that. Once you stay healthy, yeah, there's a couple of good coaches out there. I'm not just saying I'm the one, but I know I'm one of them, without a doubt. Anyway, water is necessary for your health and well-being. Don't cut your sodium too early. Don't do that. Okay? Sodium is an important mineral. You need it. And, you know, I did take some ill advice by cutting my sodium way too early. I don't think, you know, the one person who told me meant to hurt me, but anyway, somehow it backfired and it delayed my roll. I was like winning. I went on a roll and winning. Anyway, mistakes happen. Don't be afraid of salt. Sea salt, pink salt. Sodium is not your enemy, and don't cut it. If you're training hard, you're sweating, don't cut your sodium. All right? And before the show, what's sodium? It's so easy to eliminate that subcutaneous fluid. Boom, quick. All right, so that's all I could tell you. I learned from my mistake. I've even ended up going to UCLA after that Miss Olympia loss. I felt like rejected, but deep down inside, I wasn't upset. I was kind of, I want to know why. I want to know why. It took me 1 year of researching it, even really gone to the library at UCLA, been through the topic. I learned as much as I could about fluid management. You'll be surprised. And I mentioned it earlier, some of the main guru were talking to me, hello Samir, oh well, what about things? You know, I feel like I have contributed quite a bit to some of the gurus and have. It's not a rocket science, my friend. Just don't abuse and don't complicate things. I wish you all the best from Samir Bannout and Old School. Train hard, train smart, and keep it old school.